Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be taking a look at the Transformers Kingdom Leader Class Target Exclusive T-Rex. Before we take a look at him, let's take a look at the packaging. So here he is on the packaging in the T-Rex mode and in the robot mode. Let's just raise the camera so you can see it better. And he's shooting a really cool laser out of his T-Rex head. Here he is on the back, and he's in the robot mode and the T-Rex mode, and he transforms into 27 steps. And that's about it for the packaging. And what was funny is I did an unboxing video, and after I finished recording the unboxing video, I realized that he does not come with a collector card, and I kind of wish he did, because, you know, he is a Target exclusive, and I do wish maybe they had a kind of specialized, stylized card for him. Maybe, like, the front sticker is him in his robot mode, and the inside picture would be him in his T-Rex mode, or vice versa. It doesn't matter to me. Or maybe just give us one from Wave 3 or 2. I would not want one from Wave 1, because that is a while ago. I don't need any more Optimus Primes or Arcs, because I have a lot of those. But, no card. I thought it was just me for a little bit, like maybe it was just missing, they forgot to put one in there, but I asked several of my friends, they said we didn't get one either. So I guess that's like a, you know, every copy just doesn't come with one. But I do kind of wish it did come with one. But here he is, and he looks really cool. Before we look at the details, I do want to say I will try to make this a little bit smoother of a transition in the transformations, because I did, of course, review Beast Wars Megatron, and I do know that was kind of a messy review, because his transformation can be kind of messy and cluttery at times. That's why I do wish for this mold in general, I do wish it was a smoother transformation. I know at times, like especially with you know, splitting the legs apart, you know, for transformation, and disconnecting some parts, it's very tight and it can break at times. I haven't had that problem, but I have heard it's happened to some people. But I overall do think this is an improvement from Beast Wars Megatron. I think the leather plates all over him are put down better, because on my Megatron copy, there's areas where the little pieces will peel up, and, you know, you kind of have to push them back down. But there's not a lot on my Beast Wars Megatron, just a few places. On him, there's only one, and it's in his robot mode, which I will point out whenever it's in the robot mode. I will bring out Beast Wars Megatron in a little bit to make a comparison. He will be in his robot mode, but it will be a comparison with his legs, and you'll understand why in just a second. But let's take a look at the details. So here he is in the T-Rex mode, and he looks really cool. Really nice blue and red. Looks really good. The kind of spiking detailing all over the top looks amazing. Lots of really cool texturing detailing all over. Looks amazing. The head sculpt looks super, super good. Silver for the teeth, some red for the tongue, and some yellow for the eyes. But the texturing and roughness looks amazing. Really, really good. Looks amazing. I do kind of wish, I do think this section here was closed better for the Beast Wars one, so I do kind of wish this closed together a little bit better. This section, this part, does tab in, just these top tabs right here don't tab in very well, but that's not the biggest thing, I would say. But let's bring out Beast Wars Megatron, because I do want to talk about his feet, and you'll understand why in just a second. So, on the unboxing video, several people said that they didn't like the gray on his toes and that area. I like the gray for his nails. I think it looks good, but I don't understand why they didn't paint this joint on his foot, because as you can see with the Beast Wars Megatron, his nails are white, and the hinge on the foot is painted the same color. It's purple. So I'm not sure why they didn't just paint this orange or kind of reddish like the rest of the figure. So that is interesting. It kind of does look unfinished, but that is not the biggest thing in the world. I will, of course, bring out Beast Wars Megatron later to get a comparison in the robot mode. But overall, I think it's a pretty cool figure. I do think this figure is in dire need of an accessory, maybe like a specialized blaster piece. Like on the packaging, he has a kind of greenish blastific, like a blast coming out of his dinosaur mouth. In robot mode, and I think that'd be really cool. You could use it in this mode or in robot mode, because he does have a peg in there for you to put plastic pieces in, which is a nice option. So I do kind of wish he came with something, maybe like his hunting rifle from that specific episode They could just carry over, like if they gave Beastars Megatron the hunting rifle and his figure, they could just give the same one to him, but of course different colors that more match his colors, like the blue and red that they have going for this. But it doesn't come with anything. I know there are upgrade kits for him and Beastars Megatron, but I'm not really a big fan of upgrade kits because sometimes they're not very good deals. It's like 4 pieces, but they're like $30, and I'm like, I would rather just buy a Voyager Deluxe, sized figure than just a few pieces. But let's get into articulation. So articulation-wise, these little dino arms can rotate all the way around. They can go out that far and can go in that far. The tail can rotate back and forth, and no up and down, unfortunately. This section can rotate all the way around, but that's due to transformation, but still, it's a good option. For the legs, this can rotate that far forward and that far back. There is a kind of somewhat swivel on the foot, a little rocket, I guess you could say, a little rock back and forth. For the main part of the leg, they're on kind of a swivel or slider system, which I will show in just a second. It can rotate that far back and that far forward, and that's about it. There is articulation here, which is mostly for the robot mode, but still, it's a good option. So let's show you the little slider system, which is kind of cool. Unfortunately, this section does come untabbed if you kind of mess with it too much, but you can just easily tab that back in. So there's that really cool slider system, and you can just move that back and forth, and that's pretty darn cool. Later in the review, towards the end, I will talk about how you can get one of these in the box in brand new condition. Of course, I will sell it on eBay, but we'll talk about that later. But that's articulation for the legs and feet and tail. For this mouth section, you can move this panel back, and these are on springs, so these will move automatically if you want to turn the head different ways. So that's really cool. So you can move really that far out and back. There is this hinge here, so this can go that far up, or back, I mean. So pretty good articulation for the T-Rex set. It can, of course, open up very wide. No articulation for the tongue, which is okay. And you can just recollapse all these pieces like that. So that's really it for articulation, so let's get into transformation. I'll try and be as smooth and clear as possible. I know it's a messy, kind of not very smooth transformation, but still, they're all out very good modes for the T-Rex and robot mode. So let's get right into it. So first, what you're going to do is go to the tail, rotate this section all the way around to where this little spiking detailing goes down. Now, you can get these panels on the side and kind of get them out there and rotate them like that. You will move this section up and collapse that down like that. And now what you can do is get these panels here, just untab them, and sometimes they will get kind of stuck. Just push them in like that. There we go. And get that into place just like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Untab it, bring it in, just like that. And then what you can do is go down here, and you can untab that section there. That slot right there was just going into that tab right there. Then you can kind of loosen these sections up right there. And now we can go to this section, kind of unravel this. You can bring these sections in right here, like that, and then you can collapse them. Now, very, very important, make sure you bring in this head before you continue the transformation, because you'll have to undo some parts if you forget to bring out the head. That would be very, very annoying. And now, so this section is tabbed into the waist, so you're just going to want to untab that. So there is a clip, which is kind of easy to untab, which is good. And you can rotate this all the way around to where it faces forward like it should. And as you can see, there is a clip there, and it will just tab right into there, like that. And let's kind of clean some stuff up, just angle it however you wish. Of course, this backpack, you can, do whatever you want. I typically have these little dino arms like that, and of course clean everything up, make everything neat, and straighten out the arm like that, and straighten out this arm like that, and we are almost done. We just need to get the legs complete. So what you're going to do is bring this section out and get that hinge, and you will put it into the middle to complete the crotch. Do the same thing on the other side, bring that in, and then that will just tab together. And we're almost done. Just bring that section out, rotate it up, tab it into place. Bring it out, rotate it up, tab it into place. And just kind of put the legs however you wish, kind of chicken-legged if you want, or more straight, whatever you want. And there he is in his robot mode. So that wasn't too bad. I think it was smoother this time than when I reviewed it in the with Beast Wars Megatron. But yeah, overall, it's a good figure. Just the transformation at times, you don't have very much clearance to move some stuff around. So I do wish there was a little bit more clearance at areas to where you can move stuff around. Kind of with the tail section, moving these panels, you know, collapsing them is kind of hard at that time. So I guess you could save it to the last, but I just wanted to kind of get the arms done first, you know. Not really much to do with this arm, of course. But here he is. I think he looks really cool. So, of course, his head sculpt is really the only differently sculpted part from the previous mold. I will bring him out in just a second. He has more of kind of a grin than the other one. But the rest is all the same, and I'm okay with that, because overall the mold is very cool. The robot mode looks really, really cool. You have the really cool T-Rex head and tail, kind of sword, dagger, weapon, whatever you want to call it. I do kind of wish, I still wish that this was removable. I wish the same for Beast Wars Megatron, but you can't. You can, but you will have to take out some screws. I've seen people do it, but it is a lot of work to do. Let's take a look at the details. So his head sculpt does look very good. Some yellow for the eyes, some silver for the teeth, and some red for the helmet, some blue for the face, and that's about it for the head. Got some really nice silver there for around the neck, teeth area, some more gray there, some blue for the crotch, some gray for the top of the legs, and some red there for these guns. For the feet, we have some more red and kind of gray there for those hinges and the tail, and the nails. For the dino head, we looked at earlier, silver for the teeth, yellow for the eyes, and some more of that red for the tongue, and blue right there. And the shoulders are both red. Got the kind of sword weapon, some blue for the hand in there, some more gray, and blue and red. And we got the big backpack back here. But, yeah, overall, a really, really cool figure. He is kind of hard to stand at times, because he's actually quite a hefty figure. But let's bring out Beast Wars Megatron. Get these two buddies together, which they're actually not buddies, because one is a Predacon and one is a Maximal, but you know what I mean. So there you go. They do look very cool together. I probably won't have them close to each other on the setup. I think you guys already know where I have him. I've kept him in the same place on my setup for a while. I'm probably going to put him in my favorites/exclusive section, because I have actually not put a red card figure there yet. So I think I'll probably put him there to be my first red card, you know, kind of feature figure in that section. That's really just like a feature shelf. But very, very good. They look really cool. So, of course, the only different sculpting part is just the mouth. He has kind of a grin. He doesn't. And, yeah. That subject has actually been up for debate a lot, because a few people found a grin with this figure, and a few didn't find it with this figure. It was kind of very controversial and back and forth, and it was kind of weird. But I'm glad that the head sculpt is slightly changed. That is nice. Honestly, I do kind of wish maybe for this one I was thinking at least one of them they could have had you remove the tail, but I know if they had one of them where you could remove the tail, I know people would want the other, you know, both of them to be able to remove the tail, so I do wish it was an option. I do. But overall, a really cool figure. I think he is an improvement. The paneling wise, the detailing looks really good. I love this T-Rex. I do like this figure, but I do think they really improved with this. So if you haven't spotted it already, here is the section where it doesn't stay in always. This section right here, it's kind of lifting out, but it's a very, very small area. That's the only section where it's kind of peeling up or lifting up. He has several, but there you go. Very, very cool. So let's get into articulation, and we'll do some final thoughts. So let's just move Beast Wars and Megatron off to the side and out of the way. So articulation-wise, he does have waist rotation. He can, if you kind of move his arms out of the way, he can do somewhat the splits. These weapons are in the way. If you disconnect them and move them down, they can have more articulation like that. But of course, if you want the, classic look, you'll have to keep them up. For the arm, you can do an elbow bend. The tail or slash blade thing can go in and out. This can move open and close pretty good. So you can kind of have him grab figures if you want. Do some pretty cool action poses. His head can rotate all the way around. They can have some rotation at the shoulder. It does get kind of cramped with the backpack layer, so there is some. Same with this one. The mouth can, of course, open and close, and it can go that far like that, and that far like that. And it can have a swivel all the way around. It can go in and out. I typically keep the mouth like that because you can have more articulation that way. Typically, how it's shown is like this, but I think that actually looks kind of weird because you can't open it as much. Also, there's limited articulation, so I like to have it the other way around. But just my personal preference. It can bend at the knee. There is a swivel all the way around. And sometimes it pops off, but you just pop it back on. Sometimes that happens, but that's okay. And there is somewhat an ankle pivot, just kind of rocks back and forth. But yeah, there you go. Really no articulation for the backpack. It's kind of really just, however you wish, really kind of you can mess with it however you want. But a very cool figure. So overall, really cool figure. I think overall it's really good. I like the T-Rex mode, really like the deco. The texturing detailing looks amazing. Robot mode looks really, really good too. Love the T-Rex mouth head looks really cool. I like the new sculpted head sculpt. It looks really nice. I do like the gray for the toenails. I'm not sure why they just had this little bit of gray above the foot. I do wish you could remove the tailpiece, but that's not the biggest thing in the world, because in the show, Beast Wars Megatron, he typically did have it on his arm. But it does make him very bulky and chunky. But very cool. I do think it's in dire need of an accessory. I kind of wish they maybe had, fixed that with this, maybe, Beast Wars Megatron didn't come with one, but they kind of realized, oh yeah, it does need one, and they could have put one with this, but no. There is always upgrade kits, so if you're okay with upgrade kits, go ahead, get one. I'm not a big fan of them myself, but you can do it if you want to. So I will be selling this figure, because I found one at a store, this one, and I was thinking of getting it for my friend, because at the time he had not got one yet, and I said, hey, I have one if you want it, and he said, I just got one. So I, had two. One, of course, I was going to keep, and the second one I'm going to sell. So if you're interested in getting this figure, I will get my second one in a few days. It's delayed. It was supposed to come the 2nd of August, which is today. Of course, depends whenever I post this video. Whenever I get it, I will do a short little video on where you can buy it, the condition of the item, which of course will be brand new, and all the details and everything. And on that video, I'll post the link to where you can buy it on eBay. And overall, really good figure. I suggest to get it, and I have a lot more reviews coming. I have the Worlds Collide pack. It is actually kind of funny because in one of the videos I recently recorded, I said the Worlds Collide pack was too expensive, and literally that day I go to eBay and I find a Worlds Collide pack for, you're going to think I'm like 100% lying. It is an $84 item, of course, like free shipping or like $2 shipping. I found it for $60. Free shipping. I was like, okay, this person has no idea what he has. But yeah, very crazy. I'm glad I just look, I guess. I don't know. But hope you enjoyed this review. I hope it was smoother than Besaurus Megatron's review. And I will do the ARC review soon. I actually recently posted the mainframe review, but I will do a part 2, of course, just for the ARC, all for him. I think that's it, so I'll see you next time.